Right, okay, finally got this working. Okay guys, how's it going? My name is Burstfire, and today we are going to be going over the TSM versus RNG game that was played at Worlds yesterday in Group D. This was the first, this was day one yesterday, and yeah, so I'm not really very good at introductions, so let's just start at what I'm good at. Okay, so, first of all, we can see, and also by the way, we can't see the first two bands because it's the first point they showed. The bands go pretty quickly. Yeah, because it's the first game and it was on the first day of Worlds. It was the last day, but it was still the first. I think it was the last game. It was still the first day. Everyone just sort of has these cookie cutter strategies that they're just going into, like the very basic stuff. So obviously, Caitlyn, right? You ban that because you want to have basically Caitlyn's a lane bully in bot lane. They're not just, and also by the way, if you're fresh from solo queue and you don't understand why we're going through bans. In competitive play, bans are not necessarily to do with OP. They can be, but it's more to do with OP in regard to what you want to play. So if they want to play Caitlyn, or sorry, if they want to play someone like a Vayne, they'll ban Caitlyn, even though Caitlyn is a strong pick as well, but that will be why they're playing Vayne and why they're banning Caitlyn. So all this stuff sort of comes into each other. Basically, so they're banning Caitlyn because Caitlyn's a very oppressive AD carry. They're banning Nidalee because she can clear really quickly. And she's has a lot of damage, and she's quite strong right now. Same with Caitlyn. Okay, so the second ban from TSM is Jace. Alright, same thing with Caitlyn and with Nidalee, kind of, right? Jace does a lot of damage, he's very strong early, he's quite strong in the meta at the moment, and also, their comp doesn't feature these two early game camps. Because the thing with both of them, right, is if they get really snowballed ahead early game, they just crush, right? But, again, the same with both of them is, if you don't close those games out, then they become useless. Well, not useless, but they become much weaker. They keep escalating until they get to this sort of, not even mid-game, more like mid to late game, but then they just into the ground, completely useless. So, obviously TSM, from North America, not really used to playing against good teams like China and Korea. They're probably, basically, like, the myth is that all Eastern teams are really good at macro play and closing out games and decision making and stuff. I mean, that's not really true, because China, and I was actually talking to a guy yesterday about this who didn't know, he's Challenger and he didn't actually understand this. Basically, China is a region where the players are very good, but that's sort of mechanics and team fighting. It's not really macro decisions and rotating and taking towers and stuff. That's Korea, and it's actually, odd how commonly those two are confused. So that could be something they're looking at, but also because we've seen, well, I haven't, but a lot of people have been watching TSM recently because they completely destroyed NA, and they've got a big fan base. That's why I'm reviewing TSM, because I'm hoping that it'll get a lot of American fans involved, but that's beside the point, right? A lot of you've seen TSM, and obviously they're not very good at closing out the games. They're very good players, they get ahead, and then they just sort of win. It just sort of happens. I don't think they understand how it happens, but it's just sort of happening for them. And the problem is, if you have a Jace or a Caitlyn on your team, on the TSM team, then you risk winning early and then just not ending the game, which is what usually happens with TSM. And actually, I didn't see this game, so this is actually cool as well, because this is a fresh look, so I haven't actually seen this game. It'll just be my first impressions of it. But I'm pretty sure TSM won early and then lost late, which is, like, this is textbook TSM stuff. So, basically, they didn't want to play it, and also the reason you're banning isn't just because you don't want to play it, it's because you don't want to play it and you don't want the other team to play it. And the reason that is because, like I said, it comes down to the same thing. TSM is a very snowball-oriented team that just sort of, like, collapse. Like, if you imagine it's like a sprint, they start out well, they're doing well, and then they just collapse over the finish line. And because they've done so well at the start, they're so far ahead, they just sort of win anyway, which is great. But it's not reliable, and so they don't want to mess that up. Imagine if you've got that sprinter that's won all his races by destroying at the start and then just sort of collapsing at the end, and then suddenly he loses at the start. Like, if your win condition is win early, win mid, and hope and pray for something late game, and you lose early or you lose mid, which is both of these champions in a nutshell, like, it's over, right? That's their whole strategy. So they've gotten rid of these two champs because they don't want to play them, and because they don't want the other team to play them, which is why you ban a champion in essence anyway. You don't just ban a champion because he's OP. You ban him because either your team or the other team doesn't want to play him. Then RNG... Oh shit, I pressed P. I thought I was on replay for a second. You have to press spacebar or whatever. Wait, can I spacebar this? Yeah, okay. Nice. So I'll spacebar. Alright, so RNG's second ban is Elise. Okay. So as you guys might have seen at Worlds, Elise and Lee Sin are basically the top tier junglers at the moment that are being let through, right? That's obviously not including the Nidalee and the Rek'Sai that haven't been played, and also kind of Kindred, but Kindred, the issue with Kindred is that Lee Sin beats Kindred, and Kindred is really only good as a counter to Rek'Sai, or Elise in a way, but Elise can just dumpster the Kindred early, so not really. So the only time you'd really pick a Kindred is versus a Rek'Sai, and Rek'Sai gets banned, so you don't pick Kindred. So yeah, Lee Sin and Elise. So Elise, obviously, they just don't want to. Also, North America is kind of infamous for Elise, especially Meteos for Cloud9. That's back in the day a bit, but like Elise is quite a popular pick in North America, especially. I didn't actually watch a lot of LCS this year, but I assume she was picked because she was quite strong. I think since the end of last season, like the end of season 5, actually. I think in preseason people were talking about Elise being strong, but anyway, crap, I pressed P again. Okay, so yeah, I don't really. I feel like the other team just doesn't actually understand TSM. I don't think they've watched enough TSM because they're just banning. They've banned Nidalee because she's OP, and they've banned Elise because she's OP. That's not why you should be banning stuff. You should be banning stuff against your strategy. And actually maybe that's what they're doing. Okay, well, Nidalee isn't really a strategy pick. She's more just like, I'm a beast. Don't give me to the other team. And obviously they don't have first pick because they're on. Wait. Yeah, okay, yeah, they're on blue side, so they wouldn't have first. Wait, shit. Are they on blue side? I can't even tell. Anyway, I think purple side. I don't even remember this stuff. This is ages ago. I used to look at this. Whatever. Anyway, they obviously don't have first pick because these guys banned first, so I assume they're on blue side. Yeah, they must. Blue side's first pick. Everyone knows that. What am I doing? Okay, right. So yeah, first pick. So they don't have first pick, so they can't leave Nidalee up. Boom. They ban the Elise. I think, who's Elise good at? Elise is good against Lee Sin and Kindred. So they either want to play Lee Sin or Kindred. Which is odd, because both those champions can be beat by like a Rek'Sai. I mean, obviously Kindred beats Rek'Sai, but like Rek'Sai still out jungles the Kindred anyway. It's only like a soft counter, like a 1v1 counter, if you're invading. Syndra banned. Syndra's just broken at the moment, so fair enough. But actually, no, you have first pick. You don't have to ban a Syndra, unless you want to take Rek'Sai. Okay, well, there's the Rek'Sai. So, no, I think that's bad by TSM. What they should have done is left both Syndra and Rek'Sai up. Because then if they ban someone else like, I don't know, like a Karma or something, because Karma's a really strong support, or Nami, or even Alistar, because Mata's like a beast. Wait, was that before? Oh, that was this game. Oh, that was this game! Okay, right, I'm getting it now. So yeah, so that's, okay, right, that makes sense. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm getting it. Okay, right, so anyway, they left TSM, if they hadn't banned Syndra, they left Rek'Sai and Syndra open. The other team could only ban one, and then they pick the other, right? So most likely the other team would just not ban either of them, and they'd have to choose between Syndra and Rek'Sai. Well, since we already established that Kindred beats Rek'Sai, Syndra could go first pick, they get Rek'Sai and... Well, based on... Yeah, I remember this. Okay, based on Mata, he probably took Alistar. No, I remember seeing a montage of this. Not a montage. I saw the end of this, because I was playing a solo queue game, and I came out, and I was watching the analysts talk about it, and they're like, Mata's a god on Alistar, which everyone knows from Season 4 anyway. And I think he played it in LPL this year. I'm not sure. But, anywho. So they picked Nami. Oh, no, they didn't. Okay, they picked Lee Sin. That's weird. Why would you... I mean, actually, no, it's not weird, because he's obviously the only good jungler, like, left open, because you've banned 3 of them. And I think there are only 5. Who was the other one? Like, besides Kindred, because Kindred's like a counter pick. Oh, Graves, that's it. I think Graves does well against Lee Sin, so I don't know why they do that. It doesn't seem very... Even he's confused. Oh no, he's not. Wait, why is he... Why are they... God, I find a lot of, like, these Western players get very cocky on stage. They get, like, very, very happy and very excited before the game's even started. Okay. Come on. Cassia, okay. Hovering Cass. Yeah. Well, Cass is good against Syndra. Well, not good against it, but it's like a counter to Syndra. Also, Cassiopeia is good against Yasuo. Cassiopeia is just a strong pick. I don't like it because it's more like a hyper carry mid, and I prefer like utility something, so like Orianna or Syndra, obviously, or Victor, or Victor Azir. I don't know, something like that. But Cassiopeia just blind pick, that doesn't make sense. You should pick her. You've got last pick. Why would you not? I don't understand. Rumble's a nice pick. Rumble's really strong in solo queue as well. He's just like, he's basically he just fits into every comp because he's got like, he can either be like super passive and play back and just like chuck his harpoons and his ultimate out, or he can shove waves in with his flame spitter because that got buffed on minions. Well, not on minions, but it got buffed so it kills minions. It might have been on minions. I don't know, but Rumble's Q now kills minions faster than it used to. So he can either shove and have the jungler sort of come around the back and collapse, or he can sit back under his tower and farm and get all the it's actually kind of hard to farm under tower as Rumble, but he can sit back if he needs to and just be the engage for the team, because his ultimate, like if a max range ultimate is like massive, you could fire it from like in Baron pit to top lane. Like that's how big the range on the ultimate is at max range. But it's quite like mechanically challenging, but obviously these guys can do it. Are they going to be the picks? Okay, right. Just first off, always. Okay, this is like common sense, right? When you're picking a champion, right? First thing you think about is what is something that I need to pick now so the other team doesn't get it. And the second thing is, okay, what have they already picked that I can now counter? Okay, so they've seen. All right, Lee Sin. Now, obviously, that's not a Lee Sin top or a Lee Sin support, right? Because this is the first game of Worlds. They're not going to do something stupid like that. I mean, not stupid, cheesy like that. That would be like quarterfinal stuff, or even like second round of groups, right? So it's obviously a Lee Sin jungle. Everyone knows that, and Lee Sin's strong right now as well. Well, not strong, but he's strongish compared to the 3 banned ones, all right? Compared to like Kindred and Graves that are left up. He's on a right pick, so he's jungle. So what you do now is you go, all right, what comp do we want to run? Well, if that comp involves Rumble and Cassiopeia as necessary picks, then it's a bad comp, because those, like, they're very average. They're not like Rumble's nice, but Rumble is not a champion that it's like, oh, we got Rumble, yeah, we win. You can play Yasuo, Riven, Echo, even Darius. You can play so much into Rumble just to beat him up early game. So Rumble's not a priority pick. So they should definitely. So Lupa should have picked a jungler. That's just straight up. All right. Secondly, they have last pick and they're picking a mid laner and their top laner. Last pick is always, all right, always, every time, is top or mid, right? Like, you'd never chuck it anywhere else unless you were doing something completely stupid like Teemo top. Again, when I say stupid, it means cheesy. Something like Teemo top or Teemo jungle, right? That would be the only time. I've just used Teemo as an example of super cheese, but you know what I mean. Unless it's like a really weird pick that just doesn't work normally, you just wouldn't do it. So that's odd. That's very odd. Also, again, like Cassiopeia is an okay pick considering they banned the Syndra. However, Vladimir, Malzahar, need I say more? Like if there are at least 2 other picks open, and you know that one of them is gonna, like, okay, let's just go through the matchup. So obviously Cassiopeia, Malzahar. Cassiopeia wins in the team fight, just outscales, like more damage, right? Vladimir Cassiopeia, well, Vladimir is just going to sustain all the poke, clear all the waves with his E, and then just pull whenever she ults. So, like, it doesn't make sense to me. And even there's even like Varus, right? Because he's played in Korea, I think. But Varus is a thing that exists to beat Cassiopeia. Like, they could even play Orianna into that. Like, there's so many counters, like, there's hard counters. You know what, you could even... No, that would be stupid. I was going to say LeBlanc, but you know what? But who cares? Victor, Azir, even. Like, Cassiopeia is not a priority pick in any comp. She's not a counter pick. She's just basically, when all the big DPS mages are gone, you pick Cassiopeia to be like a mid to late game scaling sort of champion who can do all right early game and farm with her E and keep mana up and be a CC bot. Right? There's all these good things, but she's not a pick that you're like, yo, we gotta get that. Same with Rumble. He's alright, but he's not perfect. And again, if they're picking it for a comp, that's great, but like, it's not a good comp in the first place. Like, if that's their comp, based around those two picks. So I think they should have picked a jungler and Rumble. That's what I would have done. But they've picked Rumble and a mid laner. So, I don't know. Okay. Wait, is that a bug? It's like the time is just going 5960, 5960. That's odd. Oh, and Haunts is... yeah, it's a bug. Okay. Literally, like... oh my god. It's just... they didn't even need to pick it now. Okay, this is a mistake by TSM as well, because it's the same thing, alright? They're picking... they know... I just don't understand... like... there's a point at which some people, they make mistakes intentionally because they've thought about it. They're like, hey, you know what? It's going to seem like a mistake, but we got something tricky. There's nothing tricky here. They've picked their top laner and their jungler, and you've picked, I mean, their top laner and their mid laner, and you've picked your jungler. Surely, the most obvious, like, oh god. Like, okay, think about it like this, right? If RNG had played this right, you pick your jungler, fine, whatever. Lee Sin's... I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but hey, you know, if you've got something planned with them, pick Lee Sin. Good. The other team, being intelligent, picks their jungler, and then probably their support, or their ADC, or their top laner, right? They pick their top laner, which I think is bad anyway, because top and mid are the ones you want to save for last. But that's beside the point, alright? And Rumble's not an OP pick, as we've already discussed, you can already beat him. So, that's not a thing. So, let's just say RNG was good, and they picked their jungler and another lane. Right? TSM can now pick the other lane, and then they only have to pick one unique role, right? So let's say that they pick TSM picks jungle, the other side picks jungle and top. Now you just have to pick top, and then you put your OP pick in, right? You've gone Nami Jhin. There are obviously there are so many good supports with Jhin. Like, you can play... yeah, there are so many good supports. Like, there's literally Nami, Janna, Thresh. I mean, if you really want to do it, there's Blitzcrank. Like, there's just... there's so much. Karma is open. Neither team banned Karma. Like, how did I miss this? Karma is open. It didn't get picked first rotation or second by either team. What? Why? Like, Nami's good, but just leave it open. Like, you don't have to pick support yet, because, like, whatever they pick, you can just counter it. Unless they last pick support, and nobody does that, so it doesn't actually... like... okay. And you're picking Jhin versus a Rumble and a Cass. Jhin, the one that has to stand still to do all his damage. And we were just talking about how long range the Rumble ult is. Jhin starts his ult, Rumble ult. Cassiopeia, Ghost, Flash W, like... oh, wait, hang on a minute. Oh, wait, are they playing Hecarim? Who else? Oh, Udyr? No, they wouldn't play Udyr, what the hell? It must be Hecarim. Who else uses Ghost? I'm probably missing someone really obvious. Who else uses Ghost? Zac uses Flash. Yeah, they're playing Hecarim. Okay, so they're playing Hecarim, so they already know their jungler. Why not just pick the Hecarim? Like, Hecarim does decently against Lee Sin. He's shit at the moment, though, so I don't know why they're picking... why would you pick Hecarim versus... unless they go on, like, a motion comp, like a speed comp, with, like, a Janna and a Sivir. Oh, maybe that's... actually, you know, maybe that's why they're picking the Nami, because the speed. Like, they want to deny it, because, like, a Nami Sivir, yeah, that would be pretty OP. Nami, Sivir, Hecarim, Cassiopeia. I don't understand the Rumble, though. I mean, I do, because you can ult and slow. Yeah, but why not just pick the Hecarim? Well, I guess if you pick the Hecarim, then Sivir's too obvious, but you could pick Sivir. Like, Sivir doesn't really get countered by anyone. Well, I mean, obviously she gets countered by, like, Caitlyn or Draven or whatever, but I don't think they're going to pick Draven, and Caitlyn's banned. I think, doesn't Sivir beat Jhin? Like, what is going on? I don't understand my life at the moment. But anywho, they should have picked their top laner, and then maybe Nami, or maybe Jhin, or maybe even freaking their mid laner, because they've given it to you on a plate. But, whatever. Those glasses are sexy. Holy crap, I love tinted lenses, man. Okay, hovering the Ezreal. Ezreal versus... Ezreal Jhin. I don't like it, because I feel like even though you win early, and you don't even hard win early, but you can win early if you hit your skill shots, but all they have to do is just sit behind the minions and then you're useless. Jhin just beats him. And the thing is, Jhin falls off late, so all you do to beat a Jhin is you pick like a Jinx, or you pick like a... Wait, I don't think Jinx has been played at Worlds yet, which is kind of weird, because she's broken as anything. Just Jinx. Play Jinx! Hey, how about this? If you want to win solo queue, play Jinx. There you go, you're welcome. But yeah, just Jinx. I swear I had other names. Cogmore. Suppose he's garbage at the moment. Just anything. There's like literally anything that doesn't fall off mid game. Twitch. There we go. Twitch. Jinx. All the hyper carries of the world. Even Corki. Corki's like, he's not a hyper carry, but he's better than Jhin late game. Like, I think anyone's better than Jhin late game. Just, I don't understand this. Okay, see what I mean? Like, you've left a Karma open. Like, Nami's great, but wait, Karma has even more speed boost. Oh my goodness! If they picked Siva Karma here, I mean, wait. This was the game where they picked Alistar, so I already know they're picking Alistar. So, wait. Why are they picking? I don't understand why they're playing Alistar. Then they had Karma as the option. Why would they pick Alistar? Unless it's not. No, it's not Karma Jungle. Piss off. It's not. There's no way they're playing Karma Jungle. I'm so confused. The Civ is obvious, but we already talked about that. Are you actually playing Karma Jungle with Ghost? You've got to be kidding me. Not in Worlds. Okay, God. Oh, I don't know. Why do players do that? Like, it's just irritating. I don't think it makes you look cool if you hover like a weird pick and then just switch at the last minute. I don't think like that's the sign of a good player. I think that's just ridiculous. Why would you do that? Orianna. Yeah, I mean, there's better options. Orianna's kind of weak. Like, I mean, she got buffed actually, I think, on the Worlds patch. But, I mean, we're locked in? Holy crap. And Kennen, what? I mean, yeah, but what? Why would you... Okay, like we said, already lots of options to beat Rumble. Literally, all you have to do to beat Rumble is play someone that he can't kill, like, instantly, or someone that can kill him instantly. So, like, Yasuo or Riven are they're the typical picks against him, but Yasuo is kind of weak at the moment in competitive, because, he just gets countered really easily, like by CC or whatever. Actually, same with Riven. So that's probably why they didn't pick them. But Kennen, I don't know about that. I mean, I know that Haunts is very good at Kennen. I have, like, seen things. I've seen montages of, like, him playing Kennen. But, I don't know how I feel about that. Because there's just so much... There's so many more options that are just better. Like, literally anyone. Darius, even. Like, Vladimir Top. Just any... Like, Kennen's yuck. I don't like it. It's ugly. It doesn't... It's just... It works, like it beats him, but it's so messy. This is what I'm saying. This is why they banned the Caitlyn and the Jace, because they didn't want to play this style. But they're playing this style anyway. They have Lee Sin, falls off mid. They have, I mean, falls off like, well, he actually kind of falls off mid, or like early mid even sometimes. Anyway, Lee Sin, he falls off very, like, at latest mid-late. Then you got Jhin, mid-late. You got frickin' Orianna. Orianna's the same shit mid-late. Unless you, like, get a 5-man ult late game, but they haven't got a hyper carry, so mid-late, again. Kennen, early mid maximum, like... And then, I don't even know, I don't think supports really fall off, but again, Nami, like, if you miss a bubble, you just get blown up. So, really bad comp from TSM. Like, it wins lane, but it loses game. And I think that's what happened based on, like, what I've heard. So, like, it's all started here in the draft phase. And then obviously I think they're going to pick the Alistar, because that's the Unless this wasn't the game. I think this is the Alistair game. Pretty sure. I like that guy's suit. That's very. I like that suit. I like the color. Is it blue? Wait, is that Imp? No way. Is Imp the coat for? Oh my god. I would check, but I feel like the OBS will just screw up if I actually alter out of this. I'll check later. But is that if that's Imp, that's really cool. Why would Imp be a coach? I don't understand. He's only been playing. 2 years? Is that enough to become a coach? I don't know. I mean, I know he's really good at the game, but does that mean you're a coach? I don't know. Certain master tier players come to mind when you think about questioning whether or not they should be a coach. Certain bleached-haired individuals. Anyway, right. So into the game. That was long. That was like a really long champ select. I had to say a lot of stuff there. This is gonna be a long video if the whole game's like that. Coach being asked to leave. Well, alright. He should have a jacket on. He looks weird without a jacket. Like, not him particularly, but like considering the other two have jackets, he looks like this like high school kid that just shouldn't be there. Wait, who's the mid laner for RNG? I don't know. That name is really odd. Why not just call it Royal Club? That's what it used to be. That was alright. Okay, let's address the level 1. Wait, have I been speaking like out of the mic the whole time? I hope you guys can hear me, otherwise I'm not recording this again. Okay, the level 1, let's see. This is a new kind of level 1. Obviously the standard one is where top lane goes to Tribush, where Rumble is, so Haunter would go to Rumble. It's kind of odd Lee Sin just sort of walking in. That doesn't make sense to me. But I really am a big fan of the 5-man bulk invades. You literally just spear it down either mid or... Hopefully you guys can see my cursor. But you just spear it down either... Look at my cursor's on the minimap at the moment. You either spear it down mid and then go through like here, like that, or like that even, because you can actually sneak in this gap here. Or you just charge into this bush. So that bush there on the minimap, this bush. Or you charge in here. What my personal favorite is the one where you go Tribush to there and then go around here like that, but obviously that got warded very early. So what you'd have to do there is start Sweeper on Nami, or start Pink Ward even, but that would screw up your lane phase. And she took Exhaust as well, so they're going to lose to the Ignite. Actually no, they're ranged, so they'll win. Why wouldn't you take Ignite if you're ranged? I don't understand the Exhaust. Who would you exhaust? Like Cass? But Cass usually in this sort of game, like she's versus a Ken and a Nami and shit and stuff, she'd take a cleanse. She wouldn't take Ghost. So I don't know. I mean, obviously the reduced damage or whatever still works with the exhaust, but the CC from it wouldn't if a cleanse came out. Who else would you exhaust? Maybe exhausting the Hecarim. Exhaust is alright, but I just feel like Ignite. You wanna kill the Sivir. Like if you get Ignite on that Sivir and just blow her up early game, then she's just done. Because Sivir's basically a mid game champ. She's queen of mid lane of mid game. So if you beat her up early, and also obviously Alistair's only good in an all in, like with his combo. So he uses combo and then he just beat him up as he runs away, and then you're all good. I don't like the spread, but I mean, I guess you kind of have to, because you verse a team that's going to expect, like, the best way to invade is warded. You can see there's the ward here, so that's taken up. They've gone through Tribush, you can't go there. I think they could have come through here, maybe as 5. They definitely couldn't have gone through here because there are 3 members, but if they just literally charged straight through there... Actually, no, it looks like there is a ward. I can't actually see it. Anyway, level 1's are pretty complicated unless you take a sweeper, so you can't really invade. That's because it's just too predictable. There are literally only, like, you can only either invade through here, 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 or here. There are only 4 different spots to invade, so if they just all get warded, you're good. So, invades don't really work in professional play anymore, but they should definitely do something level 1. Like, if you group in a bush, like, even if you just defensive, so if you all 5 people sit in here, even that's better. But, safety first, I mean, fair enough. They're probably just scared. But this is bad. See, they went through here. There isn't even a ward there. Oh, there is. Okay, it was right under the question mark. But yeah, so this is bad. They shouldn't be doing this. It's not good because he's just gonna walk straight back to lane. And actually, it's his fault for Oh wait, actually no. That could be good because they stopped his base twice. Oh, if that had hit, game would be over in top lane anyway. That's good. That's a good level 1 from TSM, but it's bad because it shouldn't have happened. Like, the only reason it worked was because RNG messed up. Let's just go over starting items. Doran's Blade on Cannon, just normal. The reason you take Doran's Blade over Ring or whatever is because your auto attacks in lane are really potent, especially with your W, and also you can get some nice trades off with Thunderlords as well. And the sustains are also pretty nice because with Cannon you charge to the wave with your E, and then you auto attack, and then you run away. So you want to have some sustain as well. Yeah, most people start Doran's Blade. Doran's Shield on Rumble, it's literally the same thing in reverse. Since Cannon auto attacks, he needs to stop auto attack. Since all his damage is single target, he needs to stop single target. Doran's is an obvious choice. The only other thing you could maybe go is like Boots, but again, like safety first. Refillable on both sides for junglers, again fairly normal. Obviously the mana regen one for the Hecarim because his damage is more done with his abilities, and like some of them deal magic damage, so you don't really want just flat life steal, you want sort of the health steal, or whatever it's called, like health. It's kind of like Vladimir's Q, but in a jungle item. Then Orianna and Cass, obviously, yeah. I don't know about this because, yeah, I mean in competitive you're not really going to get 1v1s, but Cassiopeia should probably look to bully because Cassiopeia counters Orianna early game, and then Ori just sort of wins in team fights or mid game. Like super early game, I mean, because Orianna is just sort of this thing, this very low mobility, casts her ball around and does a bunch of damage and good ults and shields and stuff, but she's very immobile. Someone like Cass, you take like a movement speed quint or two, chuck a W, Q on her, E her over and over, like just whatever you want, and you win. So I would actually take Assassin, not Biscuits, but that's just me. Again, bot lane's pretty standard. Yep, I don't see any issues there. Okay. Yep, alright. So, I feel like Riot really prioritizes mid lane. Like, I know the minions meet there first, so it always goes there first, but like, I feel like in all the pictures and everything, like mid lane is just always like prevalent for Riot for some reason. Okay, so basically what Bjergsen's doing, which is good, is auto-attacking at max range, backing off, max range, backing off, because Orianna can't win the trade against Cassiopeia early. Like, it just doesn't work. And also, Cassiopeia has lane advantage. Now that isn't because Bjergsen messed up, that's just because Cassiopeia is strong and they both respect it. So it's like Bjergsen's literally given up the lane positioning just in order to survive. Because if Bjergsen was there and Cass was back at a tower, which wouldn't have happened, right? Because at this level, no one's going to be AFK for 5 seconds or whatever, right? So, and they both have pretty much the same movement speed. Cass, I assume, is a little bit higher. Let's see, 325. Actually, I think Cass is like 3. I think Cass is lower than that. Anyway, beside the point. They would have met and fought, and then Cass would have won. So that's why Bjergsen's taking a defensive position. Okay, started E on Bjergsen. That's pretty standard because Xiao Hu? Never heard of that person before. The Cassiopeia just does more damage in trades, so that's fine. But this is bad. See, you took the shield to block the trade, and that's good. And see, now they've swapped positions. That's terrible because Bjergsen now, if Bjergsen was fighting right now, he'd win because he'd auto, Cass would E-auto. I don't actually know the cooldown. I can't click on her. I just remembered it's a YouTube video. But basically, if they fought right now, Bjergsen would win, but he should be predicting that Cassiopeia is going to back away. He's disrespecting his opponent, and therefore he's missing out on auto attacks. Every second that he spends walking towards Cass is a second, and I talk about seconds, I mean like an auto attack. So I'll call it like a tick, right? Every tick that he's not going towards, that he's not auto attacking minions, is a tick wasted, unless he can get damage on Cass, which he can't because Cass is not like a noob. This is Worlds, like you have to respect your opponent. And now, I think he just cancelled an auto attack, but now he's had to walk back, and it's the same position, right? Except now, right, Cass has killed an extra minion, and Bjergsen hasn't. Bjergsen could have killed probably the first minion here, and then next tick killed this one, instead of walking up. She should have just gone bang, bang, because Cass would have gone, okay, well, Oriana's going to walk up, so I'm going to back off, because if you saw, she backed off, not reactively, predictively, because she knew Bjergsen with shield would walk up. But if Bjergsen just superseded the whole thing and went straight for the minions, right, then he would have taken that minion down, and that minion would be, like, next, so he'd get the minion there, right, that auto is there. This one is going to get the minion, but this minion is now alive, so he's now a minion behind, a minion and a half behind. And he got hit. Okay, right. So, holy shit. Okay, this is what happens when a holy crap. This is what happens when a Hecarim starts a buff solo. He's obviously going to smite it, get some health back, but this is, oh god, this is why Hecarim isn't good at the moment, is just because what's good at the moment is you want quick clears, efficient clears, get through the jungle, boom. Nidalee is the best because she does this the best. She gets through the jungle, clears, boom. Rek'Sai obviously second best because the same thing. Elise third, same thing. Lee Sin is the reason Lee Sin is not too bad is because he has his W and he has his passive, and he uses both of them to sustain and clear and then gank, because Lee Sin is an early game jungler. Also he's good because he's good against the fast clearers, because as they're fast clearing, they're focusing on clearing quickly and not on warding, and therefore you see this guy, he has no wards. I'm pointing with my finger. He has I just obviously, god, have I been doing that the whole time? Shit, I have to learn to point with my cursor instead of my finger. He has no, this is why I would wish I was in like a gaming house, so I could literally just show people my screen, just shove their face into the screen and go, this is what you're doing wrong. Anyway, he has no wards anywhere. Look, the only ward is here. Like, Lee Sin could just literally go, hey, you know what? I don't want blue. I want to go straight from my golem. Gonna loop around here. Can you guys see? I'm on the mini-map. God, I did it again. Loop around here, and I'm gonna just kill you at your red buff. Oh, how about that? Well, I don't know about that, because I'm not gonna ward, because I used my ward level 1, and now it's on cooldown. Anywho. Just bad. Just bad. Why would you not? I mean, obviously, basically, the reason people start red is two reasons. They either want to do, actually, three reasons. They want to do a level 2 gank top, which is obviously never going to work in competitive because it's too expected, and people always play like bitches, basically, but play really passive. That's never going to work. The other one would be if you're worried about getting invaded, which is fair enough. It's a Lee Sin. Lee Sin might invade you, and you want to do a quick clear. And then the third reason is because you want to gank bottom. I think that's what I was going to say. I forgot the third reason. Maybe there are only two reasons. Anyway, basically, both his reasons are just bad. You're not going to gank top. Lee Sin's not going to invade you if you get your mid lane of the ward. Hey, look, mid has a trinket. Whoa, how about this? Mid lane ward's level 1. What? And it lasts for a minute? What? So what? So Cassiopeia potentially wards at 140. Whoa, amazing. Anywho, god damn it. Like, literally, all... Okay, so Lee Sin's not invading, he's skipping blue buff, which is interesting. Basically, the fastest way to clear your jungle, like if you're just farming, right, so you're playing like Shyvana or something, is you go camp, 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 recall, camp, buff, camp. So it doesn't matter if you start at Krugs or Gromp. He's obviously started at Gromp. So the fastest way for Lee Sin to clear base and boom, or even clear gank base and boom, but that's beside the point, is Gromp, Wolves, Wraiths, Krugs. So maybe that's what he's doing, and then he's going to give first blue to Bjergsen, because I know TSM does baby Bjergsen quite a bit, but again, that's beside the point. Hecarim's just had a bad start, basically. What I would do is I'd go Gromp, Wolves, Wraiths, invade blue, and kill Hecarim. Okay, so he skipped Wraith. This is interesting because usually you'd skip Wraith and go to Wolves because one, Wolves is, like, if you path, right, Wolves is actually on the way to blue. Like, unless you go around, but it's actually pretty similar in terms of actual space because when you go around it actually makes a square with going up. Sorry, like here, if you go down here and up here, it's actually pretty similar. It's tiny bit shorter if you go this way, that's why when you click it'll do an auto path like that. But it is smoother and cleaner to go like this. So that's why you go Wolves. However, when you're playing Hecarim, someone with a... I assume he took W level 2. He hasn't actually taken his level 2 yet. Cause I think he's scared of a Lee Sin invade. That must be the reason. You take W and Q, and then you go Wraiths, and then you boom, boom, boom. And again, he might not be on Wraiths because he knows Lee Sin's top, but he can't know Lee Sin's top because there was no vision. Like, he's just guessing. Lee Sin started there, but he could have just walked down. So... Lee Sin could have started, like... Wolves and gone Wraiths or something. Like, he didn't have to go Grompman. So Hecarim has no idea what he's doing. I mean, I know you're trying to be aggressive, but that's kind of... I mean, you can, because it means that they're going to get a push into tower. But actually, getting level 2, a level 2 freeze is actually better than a level 2 push, because level 2 push, the other team's just going to get the thing back, and then you're fine. And also, you can't really freeze, like, oh my god, he just... Look at that. See this? This is 155. That means that his execute did 155 damage. Or it would have done. It would have done 155 if it had hit. So that means he has 73 AD. I mean, not 73, 77 AD. Which is fine, right? Because he's whatever. But the health of that minion when he killed it was too high. If you're freezing, you're not going... He's done that bang because now he's going to go, okay, I need to use my last one and then get my next 4. Boom. And now I can trade. Oh, but wait. Hang on a minute, now the lane's pushing, so you've shoved level 2. You want to rush level 2, but you don't shove, there's a difference. Well, obviously if you shove, right, you yourself will get level 2 faster than if you yourself froze. However, it's not about how fast you can do it, it's not like you're running a sprint and it's how fast you can do it. It's how fast you can do it relative to the enemy, right? If you do it in 10 seconds and they do it in 20 seconds, right, that's good. However, if you do it in 20 seconds and they do it in 40 seconds, even though it's the same ratio of them taking twice as long, because of the sheer numerics of it, the greater the time early game, the greater the proportion of the entire early game. Because early game finishes, and this is again relative, but generally early game will finish at about 9 or 11 minutes, depending on how the game is played. That's the most common. It's somewhere between 9 and 11 minutes. That's early game. So, with that in mind, if you take 20 seconds more, because obviously 10 to 20, that means that you've taken 10 seconds faster. 20 to 40, you've taken 20 seconds faster. So, give me a sec. So, if you're taking 20 seconds out of 9 minutes, that's literally, like, that's 1/27th of the entire thing. Literally, all you have to do is freeze level 1. And basically, how you get level 2 first by freezing is you auto-attack once, and then every time the enemy team auto-attacks, you auto-attack exactly the same amount of times as them. And you will literally be 1 auto-attack ahead, which takes 20 seconds longer than being 50 auto-attacks ahead. Or, in this case, probably like 6? I'd say 6, because I think he auto-attacked Sipper once, or Alistair once, I don't know. Okay, that was bad, he cancelled an auto-attack. Twice. I mean, not twice. He cancelled it once, but then he used it on her when he could have just used it on the Alistair twice. I don't know how I feel about this. If he auto-attacks the minions, then that would be really bad. No. He's doing it too early. He's shoving. He's not hard shoving, but he's like crashing. Which is where you push the lane like super slowly into tower. Which makes the enemy team miss a lot of CS, but it's not about gold at this point, because gold is only... That's the difference between XP and gold. Gold is about how much strength you have when you come back to lane after recalling. XP is how strong you are in the lane. Well, if no one's going to recall, gold doesn't matter. They're going to get all the XP. You want to deny XP. That's what... It's good to deny gold. It's great to deny XP. That's what SKT does. That's what... Actually, no, SKT's bot lane is terrible. That's a bad example. That is what... I think that's what H2K does, because Forgiven is, like, amazing. Like, if you ever see Forgiven play, he always wins by, like, 20 CS. But that's not about just gold. He denies CS. He sometimes misses CS to trade. Right? This is what I was talking about before, about trading. You want to... Actually, I think that was in another video. Anyway, the point is, basically trading, you either trade or you last hit. You can't do both at the same time, unless the enemy sits on top of them and you use like a Civ Q or something. But that's assuming your opponents are crap, okay? So in the perfect world, which that's what world should be. It should be in a perfect game of League of Legends. People are not retarded, and the game is won and lost in champ select, and comps, and decision making in the mid to late game. But that's beside the point. I'm getting off topic. Isn't that meant to be red? The last hit? I thought the last one was red. I don't know. Again, doesn't really matter. Again, he's shoving the wave. Like, he literally just queued the wave. And then he missed a CS. And now he's crashing it, so Civ gonna miss. Actually, no. That looks pretty perfect. If all your minions are full health when they hit tower, it means that the other team can literally just go 1 auto attack and 2 tower shots for a melee, and 2 auto attacks and 1 tower shot for a ranged, and then they just get all of them. So I'd be very surprised if Civ is on anything less than 9 CS after that. Bjergsen's somehow beating Cassiopeia. I don't understand. And he's ahead of CS. No, he's not. Is he? No, he's not. Surely he's not ahead of CS. Oh my god, he's ahead of CS. What? Yeah, he is. What the hell? How did that happen? He's ahead of clean CS. He's actually going to be ahead 2 CS soon. Yeah, he's going to be ahead 2 CS. As soon as this hits oh, I thought he missed that. Okay, that's fine. That's interesting. Okay, so Sven is still full health. This is what I was saying about sustain. And now you look at Hecarim, and you can't really see, but he's got no mana, and he's only got like a tiny bit of health. He's on like 3/4 of health. God, I lovely Sin. Alright, so he obviously, yeah, so he went red, wolves, blue. That's fine. He's going to regen his mana because he has blue buff, that's fine. But he's low health. He's going to try and take Scuttle. No, he's invading. What are you doing? Oh my god, he's going for a gank. And Bjergsen doesn't expect it. And Bjergsen hasn't warded. Why did... I don't understand. Okay, so Sven kind of dropped the ball here. He's gone Gromp to Wolves to Race, and now he's gone back to Blue. I assume he's going to leash it because he's pinging where he's going. So I assume he's going to give it to Bjergsen and give her an early Blue. It would make more sense to invade here because Lee Sin beats Hecarim early game. Is this going to be a... Oh my god, they're actually doing it. Is Bjergsen dead? No way. I mean, not dead, but like... basically, my term of dead means that, like, you've lost a trade, lost a macro trade for no return. So if for example the other team get a tower and you get nothing, that's dead. If you get, I mean the literal term of dead, right, is also another example. If they get a kill and you get nothing, that's dead. Here the term dead means if they blow ghost or flash and you get nothing. So this is going to be a dead trade, I think. That's a shit ton of damage. Maybe Hecarim is strong. Actually no, Ori's just got really low base health, maybe. Interesting. Okay. Alright, good shield, good shield. That was bad, because he was here, and then he went here and here. So he made, like, turns. Basically, the principle comes from actually, like, the British Navy, back in, like, the 1800s, which is, like, a while ago, like, the late, like, 18th century, I mean, so the 1780s, 1790s. Is basically the idea with ships is when you're running away or when you're chasing like a ship, every time you change direction, you slow yourself down because of drag and wind, and also you cover more distance. Like it's just basic geometry. A straight line is always going to be the most direct route. That's why something like an Aurelian Soul E will always be faster to roam than something like a Rek'Sai tunnel, because the Rek'Sai tunnel can go over one wall, but the Aurelian Soul can go over everything. I hope you guys can see that. I don't know about my camera, because I can't change it and check, because I think it'll bug out. But I hope that makes sense. So basically, always go in a straight line when you're running away. If Bjergsen was here, he should have run to here. I know he's trying to get close to Lee Sin and be cheeky and shit, but if you're going to do that, you just wasted your flash. So if you want to really be good, you just walk down here, and then you flash. That's what I would do. Oh no, what are you doing? Oh god. Okay, he changed direction once. That's bad. That's terrible. That is... You should not be on a stage. He changed direction twice. And the Lee Sin flash W when He's not even close to dead. Why not just walk up to him and W? Like, even if he just walks straight, W. Boom. Okay. Right. Okay, yeah, I understand they're trying to kill the person, but... Right, now Bjergsen's really screwed. He's so low. He's gonna have to flash. Otherwise he'll just die. Oh no, he can't. He doesn't have to flash. Okay, so Cassiopeia flashed. Right, you've won the trade. So now you can kill the Hecarim, because Hecarim obviously has Ghost and he's already blown it. I don't know what the timer is on Bjergsen's shield, but it couldn't be over like 4 seconds. What?! Bjergsen just flashed. Okay. Okay, Bjergsen. I thought he was a god. I actually haven't seen him recently, but I thought Bjergsen was like a god. That was really bad. Whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Get these minions. You can see that the wave's going to reset completely if he recalls right now. Nope. What's he doing? What are you doing, Bjergsen? Holy greed. Okay, so I mean, it's not greed because Hecarim can't really gank again because he already used Ghost. And Cassiopeia based, so it's not actually that bad. But I don't know. I mean, Cassiopeia is going to clear that. No way, you're doing blue as well. I don't know how I feel about this. Unless Bjergsen gets something really big on his base. That's interesting, because now Cassiopeia is all within her abilities to freeze the lane. On her side of the lane. And I don't know what happened bot lane, but it looks like I think they're just auto-shoving. Like, both sides are just auto-shoving, which is stupid because Jin's early game is stronger, and Sivir has now got a cull, so if they keep auto-shoving, Sivir will just win in terms of gold. She got a free recall, but they've got a nice... It's not a freeze, but it's like, it's on their side of the lane. And now, okay, good, so Cass is shoved in, so Ori will have to, like, recuperate, I think. Yeah, Ori's winning in farm. That just doesn't make sense to me. Like, by such an amount, by 11 CS. That's sloppy from the Zhao Hu guy. Holy crap. That was pretty ham. Holy crap, that was actually really ham. I mean, it worked, but... And that's what I'm saying, like, if Flash wasn't blown earlier, by Sven, then that just wouldn't have happened, so he'd be fine. Also, I mean, just lack of vision, like, I really don't want to rewind this, because I don't want it to bug out, but I'll just do my best. Wait, did I miss that? When did this happen? Wait, was I talking about... Oh, I think I was looking at Oriana's CS. Yeah, I was looking at Oriana's CS, never mind. Okay, yeah, so now he's going to shove and give blue. Yeah, sorry, that's weird, because I was looking at the minimap the whole time. I didn't even notice this clip of Kennen and Rumble in the top lane. I mean, we can talk about that, I guess. Kennen's obviously winning because everything beats Rumble. Except like a Malphite or a Jax, obviously. But basically anything that's half decent early game beats Rumble. But then Rumble's like really nice in team fights. His damage is ridiculous. He can one-shot 80 carries, yeah, as a top laner, like without even committing himself. Which is good. Okay, so this is what we talked about before. So he gets the blue and bases, that's fine. And he's going to base as well. Okay. Again, just Hecarim's not able to sustain the same level as Lee Sin. It's that simple. Yeah. Bot lane, like I said before, auto shoving is not good. He's losing in CS. No way are you losing in CS. And it's clean. It's a clean loss as well. Holy crap. It's a clean loss in CS, completely clean. Alright. Haunts is getting dicked on. Yeah. Just no vision. That was just greedy. And he had a trinket. He had trinket. Why would he not trinket somewhere? Anyway. There's too much to freaking analyze. This video is going to be so long, man, if I have to analyze the whole game like this. How long is the game? Holy crap. It's got another 50 minutes left of the podcast. Does that mean it was a 55-minute game? Or does that like include the analytics at the end? I don't know. Well, you don't have to watch the whole thing, obviously, but everything I say will be useful. So, yeah, it's just, what are you doing? Sven. And then he sees him. Oh, he reacted quick. At least he wasn't greedy after he saw him. That's one thing. But still, man, that's sloppy play. That's sloppy play. Bjergsen's shoving with jungle pressure. That's fine. I like this. I like this. This is very typical of Lee Sin, just invading. Nice. Bit too passive with the Q. He should have just done the second Q instantly, or he could have just walked and warded this bush. I call it the Wraith bush, but I don't actually know what it's called. There might be an official term for it, but that bush, you always ward it before you do this, or you pull it. I would just ward, because then you've got the ward in the bush. Like, then you've got the ward, because you know Hecarim's going to come here eventually. Because it's Wraith Camp, which is really strong and competitive, because it gives you the smite, the smite buff, the thing that, you know, the Ravens thing that's making him see wards. It's like really OP. And look, now he's got no mana. Hecarim, man, he'd be so sad. He was just tilted, because the thing is, he saw that he saw the empty Wraith Camp, and he just stood there. Like, he could see it. He clicked in there, and as soon as he saw that it was empty, if he wasn't tilted, he'd go straight to Krugs, or he'd recall or whatever. But he just saw it, and he stood there, and he pinged. Oh, poor Hecarim, man. That's unlucky. That's unlucky. But yeah, Hecarim's just a shit pick. I blame the coach. Whoever told him to pick Hecarim, it's just stupid. Like, why? Why would you play Hecarim? But also, the Lee Sin, it's not countering the Lee Sin, but I mean, it's basically going to outscale the Lee Sin, and he hasn't done anything yet. He's just died. Like, oh my god. He hasn't even gone. Okay, what you should usually go is Lee Sin, basically. There are two options. You either go, actually 3 options. If you want to go super passive, you go your smite upgrade first. So most people get the poachers, but you can get chilling or even get skirmishes, right? Doesn't matter. That's the smite. That's if you're just going to farm, you just want a smooth farm, clean farm, stay on full health, just sort of, you know, relaxed farm. So you're playing someone like a Shaco, or like an Evelyn, or someone that even you as Lee Sin will outscale, and you just go tank or whatever. It doesn't matter, but it's just smooth, it's relaxed, it's chill, it's clean, alright? That's one option. The second option is what he's done here. So he's gone Caulfields. Actually, there are 4 options if we include mobility boots, but I was talking more about in terms of AD items. But yeah, I guess mobility boots is another option. But his this one, which is Caulfields, which is obviously going to build into his warrior, or it could go to Yomu's if you want to, because basically that's where this build is going. Is basically it builds into your warrior, but it's the AD component of the warrior. It's the AD component of the warrior. So this is what you build if you're going for fights early or ganks early and all that stuff, which is good on Lee Sin. Like, if you're 1v1ing Hecarim, you're ganking, you want more damage, you're doing stuff, you're clearing farm, and you want to have your W on a shorter cooldown so you don't get flash freaking queued by the roaming Alistair. I assume it got talked about. Like, they must have, like, noticed, oh, Alice has been missing for 10 seconds. Like, hello? But beside the point. Or you go Tiamat, and that's just for a faster clear, but you go low. So it's basically like, there are 2 farming options, the Smite upgrade or the Tiamat. One gives faster clears, one gives smoother clears. I really like smooth clears where you stay on full health. I like playing someone like a Lee Sin, or like even Shyvana, that's it. Where you can just clear, stay on full health, stay on full resources. It's easy with Shyvana because his stuff's free. It's also easy on Lee Sin because his energy gets restored by his passive when he auto attacks between abilities. So again, I love staying on full health. It's that feeling of when you have double buffs and full health and full mana and full everything, and all your spells are off cooldown, and you have flash and smite, double smite out. It's just everything, and you're not even clearing with abilities. You're clearing with auto attacks. Like, it's just, oh, you know what I mean? That is why you would go smite upgrade, or you go Tiamat for faster clears, or you go Caulfields for beating people up, or you go Mobies, which I don't really consider good anymore. Which is, what is my hand doing? I don't know. Sorry. Or you go, fuck. I'm not editing this. I'm just gonna upload the whole thing. Who gives a shit? Look at my hand, man. I'm like an Egyptian. Anyway. Sorry. Okay, right. Okay, so, or you go Mobies for heavy ganks early. But he's gone Caulfield, so he's gone aggressive. Let's see what he does. I'm hoping he's going to get Lee 6. Call it Lee 6, I think. It's the moment where Lee Sin gets his ult. Nah, he'll get level 6 on Lee Sin. And then he'll just destroy someone. We know Cass hasn't got Flash. We know that Hecarim hasn't got Ghost, but it's actually that's why Ghost is played now, is because it's got a super short cooldown, so it's better than Ignite or Heal for mid laners as well. That's why they've got it. If you hadn't picked that up, it wasn't even recent. That's like 6 months ago. But besides the point, I haven't done a video since then, so you might not know. Anyway, what's my hand doing again? Okay, okay. So he's pushed in, so he's not going there. You can't really go top because while Kennen does have damage and more damage than Rumble, it's more like he wins trades and wins a lane. So the only lane where you're like, hey, I'm going to kill you, that's mid lane. Because even bot lane, you've got Nami Jhin, again, trading win lane, but that's not kill you. You need kill pressure, you need damage. That's why I think maybe their comp is kind of shit. Because they need someone that's just going to blow someone up. They need like, bang, like they need a Zed, or they need like a Yasuo, or like a Riven, or just something, just oh, you know what I mean? Like even a Zed top. I know it's stupid, but like even Zed top versus Rumble would be better than whatever it is they have going on. Okay. I don't know what Lee Sin's doing. He needs to make a play. He's got level 6. What is he doing? Is he farming now? Whatever. And bot lane's okay. Top's winning and farm. Everyone, wait. Whoa! What happened bot lane? Holy crap! Oh no, they've got it looks like they've got a wave shoved into the tower, so that'll probably recover. I was gonna say, how did he get a 6 lead from a 2 deficit? Holy crap! But Bjergsen, no! Oh, Bjergsen! Whoa! How did you mess that up? Oh, that's disappointing. Whatever. He's missed a CS. Rip. Wow! Did Lee Sin just not clear his own camp, or did he just abandon it? He probably just abandoned. I thought he like didn't clear his own camp. I was like tilted for a moment there. Okay. He probably just abandoned it like halfway through. It doesn't look like he has it. He has a smite. Oh no, it's the old smite buff. You can tell here it's the old smite buff, so he got it from this one a while ago. He just hasn't used it yet. That's a good ward, and I think it spotted Hecarim, so they know Hecarim's here. Alright, Kennen's coming. This is nice. Level 6 versus level 5. Man, this Hecarim, man. Okay. Alright, so Hecarim's gonna E. That's like a 20-second cooldown. So now, the next time Hecarim shows his head, Lee Sin kick flash, easy kill. That's just what's gonna happen. Hecarim knows this, going bot. Alright, this is draft. This is just the draft doing its thing. Lee Sin invades Hecarim early. Like, you literally heard me say it. It's too predictable. Even the frickin' casters of... Sorry, that's rude. I was going to say even the Riot casters would know it. No, they are good. They get criticized a lot though, because the problem is when you're like, if you're streaming or you're on a broadcast, you're obviously going to make mistakes, and it's easy to sit at home and go, hey, you know what? In that 10-hour thing, you made one mistake. Therefore, you're an idiot. Like, it's easy for people on Reddit to do that. Typically, bronze people, the same mindset, but that's beside the point. Yeah. So just a side note, don't criticize the people because they're on TV or whatever. So it's like a lot of stuff. It's like when people on stage like Bjergsen missed a CS. Obviously, I'm not going to go, whoa, Bjergsen, you suck, you missed a CS. Like, it's disappointing, but he's on a stage in front of like 1,000 people. I don't know how many people are in there, but a lot of people. And it's Worlds, so he's being watched by like 1 million people. I don't know about that. So Haunter... Looks like he's got a proto belt first, which I mean it's not bad. It's actually really good, but maybe an Abyssal, especially if it's like a Kassadin and a Hecarim that does magic damage. But whatever, proto belt before. I hope he goes Abyssal second. He really needs Abyssal at some point, especially when you've got Bjergsen who's supposed to be your carry. The problem is this team has no damage. Kennen's damage falls off. Lee Sin's damage falls off. Orianna, Jhin, Nami. Nami's obviously support, but they don't have damage. What they need, I think a Braum Jinx bot lane. This is what I was saying with if we go back to the draft, right? I'm obviously not going to rewind it because you guys just don't want to go through that. But when they picked, right? They picked the Rumble and the Cass. At that point, you pick your top lane. Like, you've picked your jungle. They've then picked mid and top. That means that you can pick mid and top, and now you have jungle, mid, and top. And they can only counter one of your roles, which is jungle, and you've already got the strongest jungler left open, so what are they going to play? Like, there's nothing that's going to, like, destroy him except Graves. And I think that's probably why they didn't play Graves. I must be wrong when I said that Graves beats Lee Sin. Obviously, he doesn't. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Lee Sin would beat Graves, because Graves is basically like a Lee Sin that's like ranged in terms of the early game, and then mid to late game. Yeah, okay, right. So, you know that you can't really get countered in the jungle, and they've just given you 2 lanes, so that's when you pick. You know, if you're going to play Ori, obviously they decided they were going to play Ori early, so they should have picked Ori and Kennen. I mean, like, at that point. And then, maybe in their heads they would have gone, actually, you know, Vladimir and Riven would be better than Kennen Orianna, but hey, you know, I'm not TSM, so whatever. But it's going back to the draft, like, it's just telegraphed picks that they could have just done better, and that resulted in them. They then picked their bot lane in response. So at the moment, like the problem with the draft was it went jungle, right? So after the first round, there was a jungle picked. Then it went top mid. So after the first round, there was a top jungle and mid picked. Then it went ADC support. So at the end of the first 3 rounds, or the 3 semi rounds, or the 3 relative rounds, only this, and it would only be 1.5 actual rounds of picking. But if you account like the first pick and then the 2 for the other team and 2 for the other team, if you count that as 1, 2, 3, then it's a third round. At the end of the third round, you have a full team. Like, obviously not on the same side, right? Because you got jungle, ADC, support on one team, and then mid and top on the other side. So you've got top, jungle, mid, ADC, support. So you've got a whole team picked, which is ridiculous, because like you should be saving your mids for the last, because that's the advantage. That's the only advantage of being on red side, is that you've got last pick. Everything else is just garbage for you. Like, blue side is just so much better, because first pick is better than last pick, so just straight away that's good. Also, the positioning of the actual map is better, because you can control Dragon and Baron and stuff way easier, because at the time you're actually getting Baron, you want to be on this side away from it, so you don't have to jump over the wall. At the time you're getting Dragon, you want to be on this side, so you can jump over the wall, because it's early game, but that's beside the point. But just the bot lane, they should have gone Braum Jinx, because then what happens is top wins, jungle wins, mid wins, which happened, right? Don't get me wrong, this is happening, tops win, jungle win, blah, but bot lane's losing on a champ that gets outscaled. Like, why not just play, like, we're talking about safety, right? Like, Kennen went Doran's Blade instead of, like, Boots or whatever for safe wins. Like, Orianna went double Doran's for a safe lane phase. Nami went this for a safe, Cookies for a safe, Cookies for a like, it's just, why not actually play safe in the macro and take Jinx Braum bot lane? Because then, even if, you know, you get fed in your 3 lanes, which is boom, and I actually know for a fact that TSM loses this game, so I'm predicting it literally is they get ahead, and then they don't end, and they lose, because they have no late game, hyper carry, anything. Surely, at some point they're like, hey, you know what, if we can win top, jungle, and mid, maybe we should have bot lane as being a safe pick. Like, did that not come up in the discussion? Like, what? This isn't even me being like higher level analytics. Everyone knows this. Like, this is bronze stuff. Like, if I explain this to like a silver or a bronze teammate, they would understand this stuff. Like, this is basic. This is basic shit. Like, so they've basically gone, hey, you know what? You know what's even better than 3 risky picks? 5 risky. No! Like, that's like basically saying, hey, you know what? I'm 5-0 on Syndra mid, and I've got a Morello, a Void Staff, and a Rabadon's. Hey, maybe I should get a Zhonya's or a GA. No, you know what I'm going to get? A Luden's Echo. Like, no one thinks like that. They're always like, oh, you know, I need some damage to get ahead, but now I'm massively ahead. I'm going to play safe because I don't want to die, because there's, you know, I'm a 20-0 Katarina, but hey, it's all good. I don't need any defensive items, because it's not like I can just get stunned once and die, and then suddenly 20 of the team's kills are dead. Like, and also Braum protects Ori as well, and Braum ult, Ori ult, that's a combo. And then Kennen top, oh god, that would have been sick. But actually, you know, it's kind of biased, because I love Braum Jinx more than anything. They're my favourite bot lane ever, so that's beside the point. Alright, I think that's... Yep, I think that's everything. So yeah, basically they're screwed in comp. But if they end early, then they're beastly. Because basically they win every lane. So that is not, you can't just disregard that. Like, winning every lane is not something that happens every game. But you have to end. And we know from TSM's history in NA Solo Queue, NALCS, which is basically... NA Solo Queue is probably a good name for NALCS, to be fair. But we know that they're not the best at closing games. And also, we also know that RNG isn't the best at closing games, but they're the best at team fights. And when do team fights happen? Mid to late game. And when does TSM fall off? Mid to late game. So, in conclusion, what do you think's going to happen? Well, people that asked me that question, I'm going to say that TSM stomps the early game, but they're losing. They actually lost first blood. I mean, they're down 100 gold, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. I mean, so okay, let's just say if I was level 1 and I had to predict what happened, I'm going to say TSM wins early. They get to mid game, they're still winning. They get to mid to late game, they lose a fight or two, it's fine, and then they just completely fall over, and RNG just aces them and ends the game. That's what I think will happen, and maybe that's why the game's so long. Because if the game's this long, I mean, I don't even know if the game's this long, but if the game is long, then TSM loses. If the game's short, then TSM still could lose. So I just don't like it here for TSM. I mean, but I know they lose anyway. So. I can't really see mid lane. If the red minions in mid lane are low, Cass going back to mid is good here. If not, they should just take the blue buff. Hecarim should stop whatever the hell he's doing over here, and just do blue. Because Cass was there, it was free, it was nice. What are they going to do now? Are they going to... Oh my god, now he's going to go... Oh, look at this time wasting, god. Every time you change directions, every time you click back, you just waste time. Just don't do it. Why are they showing random... Oh, they're probably saying something about the matchup. Holy crap. Kennen just pretty much lost the trade. Like, he's still... Wait, is that Lupa? Holy... They have Lupa, Uzi, and Mata on the same team. That is broken! What? If you don't know, Lupa was in Season 4. Lupa and... Oh... Wait, Lupa was on one of the Samsung teams, I think. Samsung Blue. I think. Or White. I'm not sure. One of them. Actually, it might have been on White. Anyway, I think Lupa's famous for playing, like, Singe, Split Push. And Mata's famous for playing, like, Janna and Thresh. Oh, and then their coach was, Imp. And then... Yeah. So, wait, no, the ADC was Imp, and maybe that's why he's coach. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, actually, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so RNG is basically like Samsung White with Uzi and some random people that I've never heard of. Whatever. Okay. Don't know how I feel about this. Because Lee Sin's not doing anything with his ultimate. He's had it for like at least a minute. Or 2 minutes. Wait, it might have even been longer. I don't know how long I've been talking for. I just spat water all over my keyboard. Fuck. What the fuck was that? Biofrost. Like, I didn't just spit because I'm like because I have Asperger's. Like, there was a reason for the holy shit. This, like, come on, I can't believe this is my problem when I watch Worlds. I just see stuff and I'm just like, surely I can't be the only one. If I'm the only one that knows, like, that just looks at this and goes, what is going on? Like, I knew that was gonna happen. Holy crap. He literally... Oh god, what are you doing? Okay, so he's seen Alistair's there. He can see... I'm using my finger again. You can see Alistair is here. Alright, Alistair's... What's Alistair doing? Has he got a pink ward? Is he clearing out wards? Yeah, so he's chucked a pink ward. Wards are cleared. And Nami's like, hey, you know what I'm going to do in about 30 seconds? I'm going to walk up here. And I'm going to face check and clear your pink ward. Even though they're both sitting there. They're recalling. Surely they can see them recalling. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to assume they can't see them recalling then. Okay, so they've gone, hey, you know what? They recalled. They must have recalled. Oh no, Biofrost! And you could see the pings, like they were recalling, and then they're like, hey, you know what? We should sit in this bush, because I bet Biofrost is going to come and try and get that pink ward. What he should have done is, if you think they're based, why would you take the pink ward and then, because basically what he's doing here is he's going to take the pink ward and then he's going to go shove bot into tower recall, because Actually, are they trying to freeze? Maybe they're being greedy and freezing. What they should do, if you think the enemy's recalled, you shove bot and recall yourself, right? You shove bot into tower or in any lane, right? If you think your enemy laner is recalled, you either freeze if you think maybe they're still there or whatever, or you recall. Even if you recall and you don't buy anything, it's still good. Just get the health, get the reset, get the mana, come back. Because then you meet and you've suddenly got the same situation as before. The only difference is you're now up 10 CS because you shoved your wave into tower. So shoving in is good. So that's what they do if they think they've based. If they don't think they've based, then why are you face checking? Where else would they be except in there or I'm pointing at the screen. In here or in here. Like if they haven't based, they're either doing dragon, they're in a bush, or they're under tower and they want you to push and then they'll just sit and clean up. Regardless. That's painful. Because what will have happened actually, you know what? This could have been even worse because Nami, when you cast a ward, you can't move. Because if you move it cancels the cast. So if Nami had clicked ward in the bush, the moment before she clicked ward, Alistair could have just walked out. And then the ward gets cast, second tick, third tick, Alistair Qs, fourth tick, Nami's in the air, fifth tick, Alistair's walked behind Nami and knocked her back. That could have been even worse. So she could have died from that if Marta hadn't panicked. I think Marta panicked there, which is ridiculous, considering he's like an ex-world champion. That was just really panicky. I think he couldn't believe it because surely he's probably used to bot lanes because Chinese bot lanes are the best in the world. There's no doubt about it. Like you've got Uzi, you have Deft. Like who else do you need? Just in general, in team. There's a reason why they're good at team fights. Is because they give all their farm and all their money in the mid game and late game to ADCs and ADC carries. That's where the Juggernaut comp came from, which is protect. Basically, you have a Kog'Maw ADC and like a Lulu mid, and a Shen top, and you just protect and shield the Kog'Maw. It came from China. It's because China is very bot lane centric. Okay. They know there is a pink ward in there, so now they're clearing the pink. Surely not. What are you doing? You know there's a pink ward there, because that's why Nami walked in the bush. Are you kidding me? Did they see Hecarim top? There's no way they saw Hecarim top. Oh, they saw it while Nami was fighting. They saw the Hecarim top. They're pinging it. Yeah, okay. Alright. But surely it would make more sense to clear the pink ward out first, because then bot lane would think, oh, Lee Sin's ganking, so we better back off, and then you take the blue, and then they're like, oh wait, he's doing blue, but by that time it's too late. Well, now they know he's doing blue. So he gets the little ones, that's fine. That's actually really smart. I was wrong. That's actually like that makes sense. I didn't realize they'd seen Hecarim top. Okay, give it to Bjergsen. Give it to Bjergsen. Nice, nice, nice. Is Nami going to take that pink ward finally that she almost died for? Yep, looks like she did that. Alright, now he's invading. That's good by Hecarim. He's recognizing that he's getting fucked over. Now Lee Sin knows that, yeah, Lee Sin knows that Hecarim's going to try and equalize. Oh, that was bad. That was a bad Q. He just lost his blue buff because of that Q. That was really greedy by Lee Sin. Interesting. No way. Oh my god. That was the worst thing I've ever seen. Okay, they know Hecarim's in the jungle because Hecarim is good. Alright, that's the only thing they need. They know Hecarim's top and he's good and he's not bottom. Like they knew he was top and he's not bottom. There are only 3 places he could be. Right? He could either be top his jungle, top your jungle, or bottom his jungle. He's not bottom his jungle. He was top his jungle. So where's he going to go? Well, if he's bad, he farms Krugs and recalls. If he's good, or if he's aggressive, so aka if he's Chinese in worlds, good and aggressive, then he's going to invade. So you know he's there. Alright, that's the first thing. Good. Taking that, alright, taking walls, that's fine. I probably would have just gone straight for the blue, but if he thinks he can do it, I mean, he obviously could. It works. Alright, that's fine. Dragging it, I like the dragging, and I like how he didn't just auto-attack it and then drag it. He's doing damage and dragging it, because it's getting cleared quickly and efficiently. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. You know he's there. You know he's there. You know he's in your jungle. Imagine he's thrown the Q, and then Hecarim's just finished doing wolves, because he actually went Gromp to wolves to blue because he's really shit, right? Which is obviously what Sven was thinking. Why would you Q the blue buff? Because then you lose vision of the Hecarim, and you can't Q the Hecarim. He has a ward. What he should have done is he should have ward jumped into this bush here. I hope you can see that, the blue buff bush. He should have ward jumped into here. Like, he should have walked to, if you look on the minimap, he should have walked to here, ward jumped over the wall into here, so he's standing, like, I'm pointing to Sven, but like, imagine if this overlay wasn't there. So here, ward jumped into this bush, boom, then he's like, oh, he's over there. Oh, I just pointed again. He's like, oh, this is over here, so I'm going to walk up, and I'm going to Q, and then QQ, and if you don't QQ and he smites, then you QQ onto him and do more damage. This way, he knows you're here, and now you don't have Q. So, and now he's going around the other way. Okay, now, Hecarim, again, he does the changing direction thing about 5 times. He sees Cannon. What he actually should have done is literally just charged into Cannon, because then Rumble could have collapsed and they might have even killed him. And if they didn't kill him, Hecarim still would have blown his ghost and his ult, which is what he did anyway. So, and it would have, so basically would have been the same blown summoners, ghost and ult, with the only benefit of doing damage to Cannon, potentially killing him, drawing Orianna top, which then means Cassiopeia can push. It was just bad decision making from Hecarim. Okay. So after taking that so much time, he didn't even use Ghost. He hasn't even used Ghost. The greedy, greedy shit. He hasn't even used Ghost. He should have either E'd straight here, or followed the direction. I would have actually probably preferred him if he were E'd to here, like he ran to here, and then he altered like that. I really hope you guys can see my mouse, or I'm going to actually be quite frustrated. Ult into the tri-bush up here by top lane. If he'd altered like that way, then Cannon wouldn't touch him, or even if Cannon did touch him, then he could ghost and get away. But this way, he's run straight next to Lee Sin, basically saying, hey Lee Sin, I dare you to kick me, in which Lee Sin responds with a Q. Now, arguably, that Q was interesting, because it looked like it should have hit the Herald, but again, if he used his ghost earlier, it would have been fine. So that's really greedy. Then once the Q hit, don't use your ult. You should wait until the thing. So he obviously used his ult, like, he pressed his ult, and by the time it finished channeling, the Q hit. You should really wait till you're behind the Herald, so you know Sven can't hit a Q and then ult, because you can't dodge a Q with an ult. Like, it just doesn't work once the Q's in the air. That's the first thing. Now he's like, hey, you know what? I'm screwed. I better ghost away. Again, greedy, greedy, greedy. He's trying to get to the shortest. He's trying to get to top lane so that he can recall. He should run a straight line. He should go all the way down here, boom, through base gates, and then literally just gas it all the way back to the fountain. But he's like, nah, I'm going to turn a corner. Then Lee Sin flashes. Arguably, it was a good flash Q, and it was impossible for him to dodge because of the decision making and the direction he's going. And then at this point, there's nothing he can do. That was just really bad by Hecarim. Really, really bad. Reportable, even. But again, like, everything I say is relative, because they are on a stage in front of, like, people. So, it's going to make you nervous. Okay, so as we reset, we've got Cannon winning. Lee Sin winning. Oh, excuse me. And I say winning because he's going for a jungle item, which is infinitely more gold efficient than going for Triforce and Smite, which is obviously what Hecarim's doing. Why are you going Triforce? What? Are you kidding me? Alright, well, first of all, the only reason Hecarim does half decently against Lee Sin is because he out-tanks him and therefore outscales. So why would you not go Cinderhulk? Or, like, Sunfire? I don't. You know what? Screw it. It's China. I don't care. Okay, war jumped. He panicked. The Hecarim panicked. He saw the Q flying and he panicked. He should have waited. That's what a Korean would have done. Flash Q. Too easy. Alright. And I really don't like this bot lane. Like, the tier 2 boots rush as well? Like, what are you doing, double lift? Because, yeah, you're up 9 CS, but you've got tier 2 boots, and your opponent has not only not got tier 2, he hasn't got any boots, and he's got a cull. Like, and holy shit. Sivir has more AD than a Jhin. I don't think if I have to explain why that's bad, I don't think it's worth me making videos, to be fair. But let's just not at Worlds. Like, come on. This is solo queue stuff. That's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. I'm embarrassed for double lift. And he's been playing for years. He should know this stuff. Tier 2 boots. Versus a lane that you're supposed to crush. You don't flash away from a combo when you're on full health. He's on full health, they're not going to one-shot you. It's a Sivir Alistair. They have a bit of burst with the WQ Alistair auto attack, and then with Sivir auto attack Q, auto attack W. It's fine. Ignite at max. You're not going to die. You have heal, you have exhaust. You're not going to die. Don't flash. And now, because he's flashed, they're now forced to fight, because otherwise they've lost the flash for free. It's a dead flash, like I explained before. Alistair gets the ult. Great. Flash for ult? I'll take that any day of the week. Any day of the week. And look, now they're overextending. They're being over-aggressive for a fight because they have to, because he's wasted his flash. Oh! What's this? A TP? I think I don't even have to explain this, because this has got to be obvious. You forced a fight, you've wasted flash. As a result of the wasted flash, you forced a fight. Wasting flash is bad, so is forcing a fight. Some people think, oh, you force a trade, you're being aggressive, you're winning your lane, whatever. No, you never force fights. You have to wait for them to come to you, and then you beat them up. You punish mistakes. You don't force fights. They've forced a fight, they've wasted flash, they've overextended. Bifrost is still level 5. Why? Why would you fight this? The TP comes. Kennen has TP. Where's his TP? Where is it? Oh! You want to wait 2 seconds before TP? Oh, great! Okay. Rumble didn't cancel? You know what? Because of this game so far, I'm not even gonna call who wins this fight. It should be RNG. Oh god, if TSM wins this fight, I'm actually gonna cry. There's no way TSM deserves to win this. They've misplayed horribly multiple times. No way. You're actually kidding me. There's no way TSM deserved to win that. And they've won it. And the reason they've won it is because they've got damage on Alistair and no one has anything else. And Sivir used heal to chase. Sivir, please. Just no. No. No! Oh, what am I watching? This is like OPL shit, dude. Alright, it's not that bad, but like, come on! Oh god, come on! What are you doing? Alright, don't recall there! Recall further. You know what? I don't even... Should I just end it here? Like, I think the game's over at this. The fact, oh my, you know what? I thought this was gonna be like, they won because of team comps and scaling. This is bullshit. This is like a coin toss. Like, neither of these teams deserve to win at this point. They literally just walked straight past the Cass, and Cass is like, hey, you know what? These minions, oh, yum. You know what? These minions look so nice. I'm actually just going to ignore you until it's too late. Now Hecarim's completely zoned out of his own jungle. He can't even walk to Krugs because he doesn't know if it's watered at red buff. TSM's walking all over them. And that bot lane fight was disgusting. That was horrible. And you know what? If you didn't spend 900 gold on tier 2 boots, you might have your Yomus by now. Did you think about that one, Jin? Come on, double lift. The flash? Oh god. They don't know where Hecarim is. Hecarim could have been doing Krugs when they did this. Holy shit. I'm so tilted. That's really bad from them. Is he not going to get that kill? Is he? He's not going to. He's not going to. Oh my goodness! You greedy. It's okay. It's okay. All right. All right. That's just bad. Terrible. In fact. See, the thing is, going for one is good. For RNG, because think about it like this: if you've got 0 kill, oh no, they had 1 kill. If you have 1 kill, and you get another kill. That means that second kill, that means you've increased your kills by 100%. Right? TSM. If you have 1 kill, and you get 1 kill, you've increased your kills by 100%. Good. Now let's look at what was blown. Well, Rumble Flash, Cannon Flash. Rumble didn't use ult, because he already had it, he'd already used it. Cannon used ult. Okay, so already they've used more. Lee Sin used ult. Okay, so Cannon and Lee Sin have both used ult and a flash. Alright. Then if Hecarim wasn't bad and got a 1-for-1, then suddenly, oh wait, you've used more on one side than on the other side. And also Rumble's TP is up 2 seconds earlier, which isn't really a big thing. But also, I don't know why Hecarim maybe has used Ghost, I don't know. But you've invaded without any vision, you don't know where Cassiopeia is. Like, it's just all this stuff. It's just ridiculous. Oh my god, are you serious? I hate when they do this. The people that spectate this game don't have any idea what League of Legends is. They just looked at Sven and gone, whoa, look at the outplay. Oh, I'm going to zoom in on him. Whoa, yeah. Wait, let me just turn the volume on for a bit. I bet they're like saying, whoa, Sven, you're so good. Let's just see what they're saying. Okay.
Items have been picked up, and up in the top lane, Loop is now going to be in trouble. The recipient of another dive. No flash available for Sven, but a good stun from the slicing Maelstrom. This should be a relatively easy kill, unless MLXG can get involved. Looking at the minimap,
yeah, just by the way, I don't like that the stutter step there. I don't like it. Like he walks towards the tower. That's bad. That's the thing that loses you the kill in the first place. You don't even have to ult if you didn't use that.
From the jungle, it spins in trouble. Onslaught of Shadows available. MLXG jumps out, but Sven gets away. Unfortunately, Haunts is...
Listen to the crowd. That's ridiculous. The crowd's getting all excited. And the shoutcasters.
Sven makes it out alive.
Another time Sven Scarrett outplays...
Is League of Legends dead? Like, what? Another time Sven outplays? No, another time when Chinese teams don't have any communication and they don't work together and they make mechanical errors. That's a better description, isn't it? You know what? I don't even care anymore. I actually don't even want to watch the rest of this game. It's actually making me really angry. They're showing a replay of it? Oh my god. Please kill me now. Like, the start of it is kind of okay. Like, it's not terrible. But I think actually maybe Rumble should just stayed under his tower, or predicted it and left earlier because he didn't have any vision. So that's Rumble's fault. Rumble's shit. I mean, not he's obviously not. He's like one of the best top laners in the world, but he's in that mistake. In this instance, it was his mistake. Right, then he gets hit. Whatever, he's dead. Fine, that's fine. Whatever. Do some damage. Don't. Why are you trying to run away? Do some damage. Sit there. Literally sit there with your Q and your E and your W and just do some damage. Going on Sven is okay because he's lower level, and I think actually even it might not look like it, but I actually think maybe Lee Sin could be squishier than Kennen potentially. I think he cancelled an auto attack. He got cock blocked by the minion. Walked too far away, cancelled an auto attack. He should have altered here, because Lee Sin can't throw his Q, hit his Q, reactivate his Q, travel to his Q in the time it takes for MLXG to ult from here to here. Just ult him. Ult him now. Get him. Boom. You saw him flash. I mean, not you saw him flash, but you know he doesn't have flash because he flashed before to kill you, right? Over here. Do you remember that? The other time you messed up? Yeah? This is MLXG did this last year at Worlds. He was playing Vi, I think, and he was equally shit. Like, why is this guy still in one of the top teams in his region, and why is he at Worlds 2 years in a row? I don't understand. Ult him. Ult there. Ult right then. Because if he ults, because he can see where the Q hit, he can see where the Q's going. If he ults right here, by the time he lands, he'll hit him. The damage alone will kill him, let alone the fear. Ult. Nope. I really don't want to watch that ever again. Now Biofrost, the level 6 Biofrost on his pink ward. An idea he probably got from Mata. Oh, he's looking for a fight, but but Double Lift's like, nah, you're a noob. I don't want to fight. Spamming the TSM randomly. Interesting. Alright, so that's sweepers. I think that's kind of a waste using a sweeper on a Ginny. You could just set it off and then walk away. But I mean, safety first, I guess. Sven's coming bot, he's got his ultimate up. Oh, this is the moment that I love on Lee Sin. You've got your ult up, you're fed, you're strong. This is where you just beat him up. Oh, that was a bad ward. That was a really bad ward. He should have warded. You should have warded. If you ward here, it's when you're covering blue and Gromp. You ward here, it's when you're covering Gromp. You ward here, it's when you're covering Gromp and bot. You ward in Tribush, that's when you're covering bot. He wants to cover Gromp, so he threw his Q there, so he obviously wanted it. That's the ward you want, not that one. That one. Again, that's what he did with his own blue buff. You don't throw your Q as Lee Sin ever. He should know this. He's a professional player. You never throw your Lee Sin Q to scout if something's there. You only do it if you know it's there, or if you can see it, or if you can see the jungler's bot side and everyone's visible on the map and you know they're not there. You just don't do it. It's lazy. It does give you a faster clear by a few seconds, and it means you don't have to ward jump every time you do a thing. But literally, every time, cookie cutter shit, you ward jump, you ward here in the right spot, not here, here. You W to it. Oh, MLXG's here. Well, then I'll Q to him. I'll probably ult him into Mata. Like, just don't waste your Q. Lee Sin's Q is like the whole reason why Lee Sin is kind of good is his Q. If you throw his Q away, then there's no point playing Lee Sin. Are you kidding me? You can't even leash a blue. Are you actually that bad? Okay, whatever. Again, everything I say here is not actually, he's not actually bad. He's just making mistakes. Like, obviously he's one of the best players in the world. He's at Worlds. Same with MLXG, alright? They're the best players in the world. However, they're making mistakes that are cringe-worthy. So that is why I'm saying they're bad. Okay. Ooh. That was actually kind of nice. Yeah, that was nice. So Bjergsen actually threw the E onto him while he was mid-Q, I think. Because that was really good. I like that. I'm impressed by that. And he still added his flash as well, so he could have killed him even if the ult missed. But that's good. I like it. And then invading, it's good because you know Hecarim's bottom. I would clear it. I wouldn't, like, when you're... No, I don't agree with this. Everyone thinks when you counter jungle, what it used to be is when you counter jungle, you would leave the little ones up, because then obviously it doesn't reset. But there you know that Hecarim's going back to his jungle, so you reset it, because you know he's going to go back there. like he's gonna get the reset himself because he knows you're gonna leave 2 little ones. But if you then take the little ones and he knows you're leaving them, then he's gonna check and go, actually, I've come down here not only just for 2 little ones, but actually for nothing. You've got to be kidding me. Are they dying 2v? They just straight up lost the 2v2. How long is this? 2 hours? This is gonna be like my longest video ever. I'll probably chuck it into bits just so like it's not. Yeah, my camera's moving slowly. I better turn a light on so I get more vision on my face. Is that even better? I don't even think that's better. No, it's not. It's not even better. I'll just turn the light back off then. Right. Yeah, so you should always reset minions when you counter jungle. Don't leave them up. You should smite the should have maybe smited a bit earlier. I think he wasted an auto attack, but it's fine. The Hecarim, I mean, if you're not following. The thing is, this is the problem I have, is that everything seems really obvious to me, but it's obviously not obvious to everyone else, because, like, you've got people on the Riot Games, like, official thing, talking absolute garbage that they don't understand. What are you doing? Why not just... Why would you not just wait for the Alistair to pulverize? No, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, Biofrost. And now Bjergsen literally just overextended. They could have run straight from bot to mid. Oh no, they've got a pink ward, never mind. Never mind, no, actually, you know what? That's all good. And actually, he's ahead 40 CS, so you know what? He's ahead 40 CS at Worlds, so I'll take it. Wait, Bjergsen always wins in CS, I think, from what I've seen. Oh, there's the roam, but he was expecting it, so that's fine. This game's boring as shit. I actually thought this game would be really... Everyone said this was like a really close game, and like Lee Sin... I mean, not Lee Sin. TSM did super well early game, and then it got to late game, and then they lost. Like, that's what I heard happened, but it looks like they're just losing the whole time. Like, they're heading gold, but there's a difference between gold and relative gold. Like, they're heading gold, having taken 2 towers. RNG's only taken 1 tower. Right? And also, RNG's... The waves are all pushing towards RNG. So they're going to be ahead, not ahead, but they're going to catch up in CS and catch up in towers and reset. And they outscale anyway. Game's basically over. Okay, let's be like pro TSM. Pro as in not pro like professional, pro as in like for TSM. So let's, in TSM's favor, if we knew the result that TSM won, how they would do it. Basically, bot lane has to shove super hard. Top lane has to shove super hard. Mid lane and mid lane is supported by the jungle needs to shove super hard. You have to coordinate all 3 at the same time. Shove, 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 shove. But then what will happen is they'll get ganked and they'll die. And then shove, 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 shove all the way back. So, the realistic solution is to freeze every lane in the lane and then just take dragons and Rift Herald and invade jungle and just extend the lane phase until Baron. So extend the lane phase instead of from 11 minutes, which is what it was when they got the first tower, till like 30 minutes. Anyway, getting caught out, just getting destroyed, double lift is dead. Picking Jhin versus a Rumble, that's always fun. Alright, hey, you know what? Good job. But then... Holy shit. No comment. Yeah, I think this game probably just goes downhill from here. So, and it's already like a 2-hour video, so I'm just gonna cut it now. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I'm pretty much. I mean, obviously it's 2 hours, so it's gonna be. I might have made one or two mistakes in what I'm saying, and I might have missed something, but it's highly unlikely. Like, I'm pretty consistent. So if you did notice anything that I said that you don't agree with, first of all, before you comment, because everyone always comments before they think. Before you comment, make sure you think about what you're saying. Don't comment something like, "Yo, but Bjergsen's the best mid laner in the world, don't criticize him." I've seen, like, you might think I'm over-exaggerating. That sort of stuff has happened before. Just, please, think before you type. And then, if you really think I've made a mistake, and you don't think it's like, "Oh yeah, he meant this," or "Oh yeah, he misspoke," or "Oh yeah, he missed it, but it wasn't actually important." If you think it's an important, fundamental thing that I've actually said that's just completely wrong, like I said, "Oh yeah, Cassio beats Orianna early," something like just big and actually important, tell me. I'll probably, I don't know, I don't think any of these this video, the only, like, the people that enjoy the video are not the people to like it, because it's informative. It's not really like entertaining. You're not gonna go, "Yeah, I like this video, would recommend to a friend." It's like, it's useful for you as a person, so you probably won't like it. You'll probably just use it as it is, which is how it's intended. This is not just to, this is kind of to sort of show how smart I am in terms of League of Legends, but it's also, well, how knowledgeable is probably a better word than smart. But it's also to make whoever's watching this better at the game and understand it more, because I find that some people just don't understand the basics. So hopefully this helps you. If it didn't help you, I don't care. If it did help you, awesome. Message me. Yeah. Probably the only people that would dislike this is people that don't like me as a person rather than my content. But if you do dislike it, make sure you leave a comment, like, that's actually useful. Like, say, "I disliked because you insulted Bjergsen." That's kind of useful, because I'll know in the future never insult a member of TSM again. So I'll review, like, a European team, and then everyone can say, "Yeah, EU sucks." But this kind of getting kind of long, so I think we're done here. Thank you very much for watching. Sub, like, comment, whatever, and goodbye.